What's Crack-A-Lackin? Welcome in to My Mind is a Weapon Fantasy Football Show.
Welcome into the episode of My Mind is a Weapon Fantasy Football Podcast. I am your host, Sleaze. Today's episode, we're going to be diving into my running back rankings, top 36, guys. Yes, we are going to go through 36. It is BYEMAGGEDON week. You have the Lions, Jahmyr Gibbs, Montgomery, the Raiders, Genty, the Rams, Kyren, the Cardinals. Who knows who the Cardinals running back is? Seahawks, K9 and Charbonnet, and Jaguars, ETN are all on a bye, guys, so make sure you have them out. If you want the statistical breakdown of all the numbers against the running back, I do all those in my running back stardom sit-in videos. This is just more of my personality, a couple jokes here and there, and how I think the takes are going to be in the game. That's how my rankings are going to come. Obviously, well, I said that wrong. Obviously, statistics are used in my rankings, but it's just going to be a different layout. I don't like giving the stats back-to-back twice here. So before we dive into it, make sure you tap that thumbs up, hit that subscription button, turn that bell on so you know when I'm live. I'll be live all weekend long. If you can't make any of the live shows, always drop any comments you have down below. I try to answer every single one of them. If you guys haven't checked out drafters.com and you want to do some DFS, some splash plays, some best ball second half drafts, they are all up. I'll be live on Friday doing a couple of those. You use promo code SLEAZE. It will double your initial deposit up to $100 when you sign up. And then we post all of our pick'em locks and talk fantasy football 24/7 in the Guys FF Discord. Both of these that I run with Big Draft Energy, both of these will be pinned in the comments and in the description of the video, guys. Now let's dive in to my top 36 running back rankings for week 8. So, guys, if you're new to the channel, this is my running back board. Baller tier at the top, must start running backs, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4, tier 5. We're going to crank through top 36. And on the bottom here, these are all the running backs from the bye. So you got Monty and Jahmyr Gibbs. You got Kyren Williams, Genty, Charbonnet, K9, ETN. If you want to say Bam Knight and Michael Carter, they're on a bye as well. And then these are the injuries that just keep piling up. Kendre Miller's season is over. Amari and Hampton looking like week 13. Haskins is doubtful this week, so I don't think he's going to be out there. Eckler's season over. Benson should be week 11, I believe, is his return date. Mixon, we don't know about. James Conner's season over. And Bucky Irving is ruled out, of course, already. Bucky is killing me. So, remember, guys, when we go through these, this is just my breakdown of the game, personality. I'm not going to give you no defensive stats or anything like that. And when I talk about one player in that game, I lead to the ranking in the same game at the same time so we can cover them both together here. So, starting off with number 1, to infinity and beyond. He gets the Miami Dolphins. Is there even a question? I mean, remember the show last week, I said if you do not have Quinshon Judkins in your lineup versus the Miami Dolphins, you just do not know how to play fantasy football because that is the easiest call there is. Now, I'm also going to have Tyler Algier up here at 29, and he's going to be an interesting sleeper play. I mean, you got Michael Penix banged up in this game. You know, he's playing kind of injured. They said that he's going to be out there day to day right now is the update. And the Miami Dolphins are in shambles. The defense has given up 100 and I believe 85 yards a game just to the running back position. They're not going to need Drake London much. They're not going to need Kyle Pitts much, which kind of scares me for them. They could just pound these two running backs for 35, 40-plus fantasy points together because the Miami Dolphins defense can't stop a damn thing. Now, number 7 is going to be Devon the Hurricane A-Chain. Now, the situation you have here in Miami is toast. But one thing we know is this guy's going to produce every single week. They line him up everywhere, not just at running back, Z-back, inline, slot, wide receiver. He's going to get receptions. You're playing the Falcons defense, which is very tough. You're not going to be able to run that much on them. They've been a good run D. But still, no matter how bad the team is, this is their shining bright star that they have. So Devon A-Chain's still going to make it into my tier 1 at number 7. Number 2, get on the back, baby. The comeback player of the year that I've been talking about since the beginning of the season, and it's not just 49er bias. You can tell I'm a 49er fan, obviously, behind me. Christian McCaffrey is not only just chasing comeback player of the year, he might even be chasing MVP if the NFL looks at it like how much he's carried this team with all the injuries. George Kittle back, the blocking, the run game opened up even more. He looks like the number 1, like old school Christian McCaffrey stud running back right now, and it's unfreaking believable. Now, when we're looking at who they're going up against, right, and our defense, I say our because I'm a 49er fan, is the Houston Texans. And the Houston Texans are just dog shit right now. I hate to say it. You got to be blunt with it, man. This is a very, very bad offense. And I talked about it last week with Woody Marks, why I liked him over Nick Chubb. was the fact that he's going to be coming off the bye, getting a couple more carries, and he got more work. But where does Woody Marks thrive in the receiving game where Nick Chubb doesn't? So I know our 49er defense is banged up, man. We're down Huff, we're down Bosa, we're down Warner, we're down Stout. It's rough. But still, with the Texans offense, I can't rank them higher. I got Woody Marks at 21 and Chubb at 33. And desperation flex play if you need with Woody Marks. Don't really love the situation. The Niners defense even played good against the Falcons last week, beat up. So Robert Saleh is coaching a just defensive gym. Moving down to number 3 here. If we all redid our fantasy football drafts, Jonathan Taylor would 100% be the number 1 pick. 3 games of 3 touchdowns already, and you get the Tennessee Titans. We might be talking about a 4th game with 3 touchdowns here. Dude, the Colts are favored by 14.5 in this game. And I tried to tell you guys last week to sit Tony Pollard because the matchup is not good. I'm going to tell you the same thing again. I mean, Tony Pollard's at 27. Tyjae Spears is at 28. This matchup is brutal. You know, the Titans offense did look better, you know, with the new head coach, with the firing of Callahan. You saw Cam Ward's kind of best passing day without even Calvin Ridley out there. So, you know, things are looking up, but it's still not looking good for this team. I'm not starting either one of these running backs if I can avoid it. Number 4, the touchdown machine, Josh Jacobs in the revenge game for Aaron Rodgers on Sunday Night Football that we all just cannot wait for. And it's kind of been impressive how good Jaylen Warren has been. So when it comes to Josh Jacobs, this guy's got 15 touchdowns in 16 games. Are you really going to sit this guy? No, obviously not. Pittsburgh Steelers run D. They are that weird run defense. They've been good in one game, then bad. Then good the next game, then bad. Then good the next game, and bad. So they were just bad. Maybe they're going to be good this week, but still, I'm counting on Josh Jacobs to find the end zone. Now, Jaylen Warren's side saw the most touches, the most snaps, kind of phased out Kenneth Gainwell. But damn, you're going up against one of the toughest run Ds in the Green Bay Packers. If he gets it done in any way in this game, I believe it will be through the receptions. You know, he could probably get 40, 50 yards on the ground with the possibility of breaking one, and he's looked really good. So I was kind of out on Jaylen Warren coming into this year as well, so I got to be truthful there. He's looked way better than I thought, but I don't like the matchup that much versus one of the best run Ds, even in the revenge game for Rodgers. Number 5 is going to be King Henry, and I know that Lamar Jackson, we don't know what's going on. It's up in the air. He's 1-6, or they're 1-5. And Sleeper updated today that they had inside information from other people like Dan Graziano from ESPN, and they said, you know, we've talked to insider staff, and we don't know if he's going to sit out one more game with the hamstring or not, but it's trending towards not. Even if he's not, I mean, you saw the game before the bye. They're going to lean on the King. The Bears' run D's terrible. King Henry is going to feast either way, Lamar Jackson or not. Do not be afraid. They're going to ride the horse, and I like King Henry a ton this week. Now, speaking on the Bears side here, let me grab DeAndre Swift, and we got a newcomer to the top 36, Kyle Manunjai. So DeAndre Swift has just been electric in the past 2 games, right? Coming off the bye, the Bears have 4 straight wins. Ben Johnson is absolutely balling out of his mind. But the worst part is Manunjai starting to see the goal line work, which, you know, if you've played fantasy football for the past 6 years, that DeAndre Swift never gets goal line carries. So Manunjai, let's say that, you know, it is Cooper Rush. This may be flex deep sleeper play appeal here because they're going to have a terrible offense with Cooper Rush or Huntley. We've already seen all of that. We know that already. But either way, when you look at last week, you know, I had Caleb as a smash play. Obviously that missed. And the weather was terrible. That's why the Bears ran the ball, I think, like 42 times. That's not what the Bears usually do on offense. So that was an aberration game kind of there. Got Manunjai more involved, and they like what they see. So I have Manunjai at 31 and DeAndre Swift at number 12 this week. Moving on down here, coming up the bye. James, the Cookie Monster, is going to be back against the Carolina Panthers. The Bills, 2 straight losses, or I believe 2 out of 3 losses. I don't know which one it is. Again, this is just a cappella right here. They're going to feed the beast here. He's going to get a 20-plus point game here. I could just feel it. I know it. The Carolina Panthers going to be rolling out Andy Dalton. Maybe that helps their offense a little more. But James Cook, I mean, he has the easiest running back schedule for the rest of the season behind CMC. These two are probably going to be in the baller tier the rest of the way this season. And you got to look at game scripts, right? Bills, how many times are they going to be behind and need to pass? Not a lot, right? So James Cook's volume is just going to be absurd from here on out. Now, this is the nightmare, right? So last week, the Panthers, they came out. Chuba Hubbard came out as a starting running back, and then Rico Dowdle ended up having 5 more carries than him and had way more efficient carries. Now you're playing the Bills. Their defense has been beat up. They have been getting gashed by the run, but they've been absolutely hurt. And now they're coming off a bye and getting a little healthier. So, this is one of those, if you have either one, it's kind of a flex play. Don't love it, don't hate it, right in the middle. Do they have touchdown upside? Yes. But it's just going to be a nightmare, man. This is going to be one of those 50-50 splits that you just cannot decide for the rest of the year. And if I have one and they pop, I'm honestly moving it as fast as I can. And I have them at 22 and 23. Moving down to number 8. Strap up. Put your chin strap on. Get hit in the mouth. Cam Scatabo. The show is here. It is absolutely amazing what he is doing with Jackson Dart, how they have ignited the entire city of New York. Dude, they had the Broncos beat, man. Like, really, they had that game won. They messed it up at the end pretty bad. I don't want to, rag on them because I like Jackson Dart so much. But you get the Philadelphia Eagles. Their run D's been struggling. I know they've been missing Jalen Carter. He got suspended in the first game, then he was hurt for a couple games here. So their superstar DN hasn't been out. He could be back in this game. I haven't seen the update yet. But, dude, after the Broncos, and that's a good run D, Scatabo is just matchup proof. And this is the game. I mean, you're getting the revenge game. Revenge game narrative. What's going on, Saquon? We need a 20-point game in fantasy football. Are we going to have a Saquon Barkley season where he doesn't have 20 points? I don't understand. Now, I know that the offensive line is banged up. I know it's a different offensive coordinator. And I know he's got the 350-plus Madden curse. Dude, the Saquon Barkley, he's been absolutely fine. The man's an absolute stud. I don't know how he can't get loose. It's very, very strange. I do think that he's still going to be in my top 10 this week, and I might have to drop him out this week. If he doesn't pop for a touchdown in a revenge game against the New York Giants who traded you away, like, the Philly needs to get this man going. This is the game to do it right here. Get him pumped up. Get Saquon a TD. I have him at 9. Number 10, we got to target the high implied point total game here, and there's going to be a lot of pieces here. So this is going to be the Cowboys and the Broncos game. I have J.K. Dobbins at number 10 because R.J. Harvey, man, I don't even know. Talk about a busted draft capital pick. He was getting drafted like 5th, 6th round of redrafts, and he's just not even seen the field. So this is the J.K. Dobbins show. Yes, are his knees banged out, blown up, whatever you want to say. His whole body's been hurt his entire career. But when he's healthy, he looks great, and he's the better running back right now. The Dallas Cowboys defense, again, since trading Micah Parsons, is the worst defense in football. They allow just yards, and touchdowns. So J.K. Dobbins is going to have a monster week this week. And I have R.J. Harvey at 34. Now, I got the jersey behind me, man, to show my love for Javonte Williams. No, that's a joke. But Javonte has been playing out of his goddamn mind this season. And if Scatabo could do that to the Denver Broncos, what makes you think that Javonte Williams can't right now? And then you got to throw in that you got CeeDee Lamb, Pickens, and Jake Ferguson's to deal about. That's why Javonte is just balling, because they can't stack the box because Dak Prescott is playing out of his mind. And this Cowboys offense is just so damn good. So I have Javonte Williams at number 14, and it would be higher if it wasn't the Broncos. Number 11, this is the last dance right here, man. Breece Hall. I mean, we don't know who the quarterback's going to be. Obviously, Tyrod Taylor popped up today on the injury report. Justin Fields got ripped by the owner saying we can't complete a pass. And then today he went on his press conference and he never saw it. Shocker. Yeah, right. But this is the best matchup in football for Breece Hall. The Cincinnati Bengals are worse than the Cowboys against the running back. This is where they get gashed. This is the last dance. I'm just going to say that. This is the last dance for Breece Hall in Tier 1. I expect him to get at least 12-plus points in this game. I mean, you should against the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, on the Bengals side, we've got to talk about a little bit of life here. So, Chase Brown is going to come in at number 16 in Tier 2. Now, and this is like I said with the Joe Flacco when they signed him. It was the perfect signing, right? Now defenses have to play defense. They can't just stack the box in there with Jake Browning. So when Joe Flacco can light up Jamar Chase, can light up T. Higgins, this is like what I'm talking about with Javonte Williams. Even with a terrible offensive line that the Bengals have, it opens up your run game. And you saw Chase Brown. You know this guy's a good running back. It's just been the wrong goddamn scheme that's killing him all year. So, and a terrible offensive line. You can throw that out there, of course. But the matchup here, you got to look at volume here, right? Like, I know it's still scary because it's Chase Brown, or most people will be excited because their second-round pick that they drafted and they thought they burned capital on is on a bounce back. Their offensive line is still not good. But what you have to look at here is, are the Jets going to move the ball? Are the Bengals just going to pound the shit out of them? And we might get a lot of attempts from Chase Brown here, and he might be a very, very solid flex play. And I even like his touchdown upside in a tough matchup versus the Jets because that defense will be tired from being on the field the whole time. Number 13, AK-41, and Kendre Miller up here went down with a torn ACL, and he was getting more involved, so now it relies on Devin Neal, the 6th-round rookie, behind him, right? So Alvin Kamara played 84% of the snaps last week. Yeah, it's going to be a very, very tough matchup versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and we got to change this. I did this without knowing about Bucky Irving. So we're going to throw Rachaad White into number 15 as well in this game. So when I made the rankings, Bucky I thought he might play. So when I'm looking at AK-41, it's not pretty by any means. Kellen Moore has not been known to throw to his running back. His receptions that have kept him alive in PPR for so long in fantasy have kind of faded. But Tampa stuffs the run, and they struggle versus the pass against the running back. Kellen Moore has to know this. You've gotten a little field stretcher now with Chris Olave. You got a little connection going there. The defenses can't just stack the box on you. So I think Alvin Kamara is going to have a solid down the stretch because he said, I'll be sipping pina coladas on the beach if you trade me, which that's kind of crazy to me. You'd miss out on $10 million contract. Money always talks, but we'll see how that plays out. Now on the Rachaad White side, this is a perfect matchup. You get the New Orleans Saints. The Saints defense is absolutely terrible across the board. We all know this. Bucky is out. Hopefully Baker Mayfield can find his groove back after last week because I don't know what it was. Maybe it was Mike Evans going down, his boy, but he was overthrowing everything on Monday night. It was such not the Baker I've seen, and it was kind of wild. Like Buka should have had like 20-plus points. He was wide open like freaking 5 times. So I'm hoping he gets that back together, but still, Rachaad White's volume is going to be solid enough for easy RB2 play. Coming in at number 15, and we got to skim it down here. So I'm going to switch it out live on the show. This is how you know we're just doing this a cappella here. No setup, all off the top of the head. So Quinshon Judkins, and I was willing to move him for Rachaad White because I've got Quinshon Judkins at number 19. You're going up against the New England Patriots, and guys, the New England Patriots run D is for real. They are Cleveland Brown good for real. So I don't just take one game like he just popped on the Dolphins and I'm like, oh, he must start the next game. Same with Ramondre Stevenson. He popped last week. Oh, my God, he needs to start. And Travion Henderson, I don't even know we're talking about this still, but it drives me nuts. I have him at 35 and Stevenson at 30. So when I'm looking at this game, you have the Cleveland Browns, the number 1 run D yards per carry, number 1 yards allowed to the running back. I think like 1 touchdown allowed to the running back. Myles Garrett and this front are nasty. This is going to have to be a Drake May passing game. And same on the Browns side. Like last week, they got to lean on just pound the run because the Dolphins can't stop the run. The Dolphins let Kamani Vidal go for like 150, right? So now you got Quinshon Judkins in a tough matchup here. They're probably going to be playing from behind because the Patriots will probably get the lead in this game. And you'll see a different type of Browns offense. So I'm tempering my expectations. Judkins I like as a flex play, but I really don't like a lot this week in this matchup. We're flying through it. So number 17 and number 18 is Aaron Jones. Looks like he's going to be back, activated off the PUP. 21-day window is open. And he's also said, even before the window was open last week, that he's targeting the Week 8 return. So I'm assuming he's back. And Jordan Mason. And what you have to look at here is the Chargers secondary has been absolutely lights out. They've been great. They've been getting smashed by the running back. The Vikings have to know this. This is probably going to be a flex play for both these running backs if you need with touchdown upside in the game. And on the Charger side, I mean, look at how it just went. The Vikings just absolutely locked up Saquon Barkley and let A.J. Brown go nuclear with Devonta Smith going nuclear. And that's why I said stick Kamani Vidal last week, because when you fall for that 1 week trap of you got 20 points against the Miami Dolphins, dude, I could probably get 20 points against the Miami Dolphins behind the Philadelphia Eagles line. Definitely not true, but just a joke statement there because they're so terrible. So now Vidal's in for another tough matchup against the Vikings front, and people are going to throw him out there because they think, oh my God, Hassan is going to be out. He's doubtful for the game. He was only seeing 28% of the touches in both games. It was the same share. So nothing's changed with him being out. Like it's going to be a full RB1 role for Kamani Vidal, seeing like 35 touches here in this game. So I don't like Kamani in this game, to be honest, either. Heading down to the biggest struggle, man, number 24. Corey Krosky, Merritt, and they're going up against the Kansas City Chiefs. I have Isaiah Pacheco at 26 here, and cracking in the first time is going to be Brashard Smith at 32. So Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt just had two absolutely plus matchups. Now, we know that Terry McLaurin was out for one of them, and we know that Debo and Terry was out for two of them. So, obviously, those wide receivers aren't going to scare a defense away, and Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt's going to face tough boxes the entire time. Now, you've got JD5 out. You're playing the Chiefs. Hopefully, Debo and Terry are supposed to be back. We don't know if they're going to play him in a game where their quarterback's not out there against the most prolific offense in the NFL and the Kansas City Chiefs. So, pains me, but I got to have Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt at 24, and it's not looking good, man. I thought that he was going to smash the past 2 weeks in great matchups, and it just didn't happen. Now, Chiefs side. Isaiah Pacheco, I had a guaranteed touchdown last week. He was my guaranteed 15-point play. He was my guaranteed 45-yard pick'em lock last week. All of those hit except for 15 points. Why? Because the goddamn Chiefs blew him out 31-0 by the third quarter, so all the starters sat. Now, that's why Brashard Smith is going to make it into these rankings this week, because you don't have JD5 out there. Can Mariota be serviceable? Yeah, he's not a bad backup. But have you seen this Chiefs offense with Rashee Rice, man? It is going to cook. So I'm willing to say that a sleeper play is Brashard Smith again. He saw, I believe, 14 or 12 to 14 touches last week during the blowout. You know, running the clock out, getting him a little involved. Chiefs, Andy Reid wanted to see what he had in him, and he liked it. So let's say the Chiefs are up by 20 again here. You're probably going to get a Brashard Smith show down the stretch here again. And I could definitely see that happening, and he'll probably be on my sleeper video coming tomorrow here. Last but not least, number 36. He got a little work last week. I forgot to talk about him with Scatterbo, but Tyrone Tracy, and it's rough, man. I still don't trust it. I know he had like 6 points, like 41 yards, something last week on like minimal carries. And again, we're at a 6-week bye here, a 6-team BYEMAGGEDON here. So number 36 coming down this far is going to be rough. But if you're willing to throw Tracy out there, it's not a bad sleeper dart throw. Just I don't love it by any means. Thanks for rocking with me. That is the end of the episode. That is my top 36 running back rankings to help you guys with the BYEMAGGEDON week here. Remember, guys, on your way out, if you haven't already, hit that thumbs up. Helps me out a ton. Tap that subscription button. Turn that bell on. Again, I'll be live all weekend long. And if you can't make it into the live shows, drop your questions down below. I do try to answer every single one of them. It's getting super tough between YouTube and Twitter, but that's one of my goals for you guys is to answer every single one you guys got, so drop them in there. And remember, if you haven't checked out drafters.com or the guys FF Discord, they are pinned in the top of the comments and in the description of the video. And that's it for me in this episode. My next one will be wide receiver top 36 and then tight ends top 25 or top 20. I don't know how deep I'm going to go in that because there's so many buys this week at tight end. I don't think you really need to go that deep. So I hope you guys enjoyed the content. That's it for me. I'll catch you in the next one. Sleazebomb out.